What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Another episode of player ratings, you guys, as Tottenham beat Wycombe 4-1 at Adams Park, sealing a tie with Everton in the next round away. February the 10th, it looks like it's going to be now, in an evening kickoff at Goodison Park. But let's get into the player ratings. Let's start off with Joe Hart. We give him a 6. He made some nice saves, but apart from that, pretty quiet evening for him, wasn't it?
I think, he made one save in the first half, pretty much from a near post header. He had to also punch away a Joe Jacobson corner, which he tried to score, as we saw. But other than that, and again, quiet evening for him. Didn't have much to do. Didn't exactly have to have a bombardment of crosses to deal with or anything like that. Especially in the second half, he was pretty much a passenger. He probably didn't have to even be in goal for that second half. So yeah, decent day for him.
Yeah. Moving on to Ben Davies, we gave him a 6. I thought he was the first point of call for the goal that we conceded. As the throw came in, he should have got in front of the man, but kind of was a bit weak and kind of let the other defender head it on, which led to the goal. But apart from that, I thought he was okay. I mean, most of our troubles did come down his side, I believe, but all in all, I thought it was an okay performance.
Average Ben Davies performance, as you would say. I think not too bad, not too good. Didn't really get forward much. I don't remember too many times him in the opposition half, causing trouble for them. But he was a standard Ben Davies. Yeah. 6.
Let's move on to Davidson Sanchez. We gave him a 6 as well. In the first half, I was quite worried for Davidson Sanchez as he was quite getting bullied by their number 9, a tall, strong striker. But in terms of Sanchez, he got beaten way too easily for that goal. Way too easily. Should have battered that ball away. I don't know what he's doing with that clearance.
Or at least put it out for a corner or something.
Do something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Don't do what you do.
Yeah.
But I thought that after the second... Well, he had nothing to do in that second half. But after that kind of slip or that mistake that he did, I did feel that he kind of didn't put a foot wrong after that. Yeah,
the only compliment you could say is he dealt with Akin Fenwell well when he came on, pretty much. Yeah. And the other guy, I can't remember his name, but the number 9 was bouncing off him completely outmuscling him a few times, and he did struggle to deal with him at times. And that goal, was really poor clearance, straight to Onyedinma, and it went to the back of the net. It was a poor clearance. He probably should have put out for a corner, I think. And again, not convincing. And look, it wasn't like a disaster class, but it just wasn't convincing. You don't end that game thinking, all right, Sanchez is on the right path here. I just didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, same again with Sanchez, really.
Which moves us on to Toby Alderweireld. We gave him a 6 as well. Got completely spun for that goal.
Mm-hmm.
It was surely embarrassing for him. That completely spun by a championship player, the bottom of the championship. As well as I'm saying for Sanchez, after that, I thought he didn't really put a foot wrong. There were a few moments before that where he was getting out-muscled and bullied by that number 9, like we said about Sanchez. But all in all, another okay display from Toby.
Yeah, I felt like he didn't look as comfortable on the left-hand side than he does on the right. I felt like his passing, I think he prefers his passing when he does those crossfield passes going from right to left, then from left to right. He didn't feel as comfortable. He did get completely spun for that goal, as you say, which wasn't a great moment for him. And he needs to, maybe we're seeing why he's been relegated to the number 2 side. But you got to say, when he's played in the Premier League, he's been pretty good. So I would say it's probably a bit harsh if you were to make that conclusion. But it wasn't his best day. But again, he got spun once and that was it.
Yeah. Moving on to Jaffa Tanganga, we gave him a 6 as well. Played the right back role. He looked very rusty out there, Jaffa Tanganga. But I thought that he made a few mistakes, but there were some good moments. I think he was always trying to provide an outlet on that right-hand side. His defensive display wasn't that good, but it wasn't too bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Onyedinma had a few one-on-one situations with him, which he dealt with okay. He should have scored when he had that header just before half-time. He hit the crossbar inside the 6-yard box, had to score that one, ends up hitting the bar. I just felt like he was overlapping, but I always felt like when the ball went to him, he just never looked that comfortable. I didn't feel like in that right-back position.
I didn't think he looked comfortable anytime he was on the pitch, and when Sissoko moved back to right back, I thought he looked a lot more accomplished at right back than Tanganga did.
He did. I just felt like his quality on the ball was a bit lacking. And he's rusty. He hasn't played minutes, and maybe that will come with minutes. But just yesterday, I felt like he looked a bit rusty on the ball.
For me, he looks like he's more of a centre back than he is a full back, isn't he?
But people say they want to see more of him full back. I don't know. I know he's put in some good displays, but I don't know. This day and age, you need your fullbacks to be super confident on the ball and coming forward and have really good quality. And I haven't seen that yet from Tanganga.
All right, let's move on to Harry Winks. We gave him an 8. Simeon is all smiles. But in terms of Harry Winks' performance, you got to say it was a really good, competent display. Took his goal really well. I felt that he was controlling stuff from in the middle of the park. And I think it helps him a lot when he has someone next to him that has that kind of destroyer role.
Yeah.
So he can kind of do his good work passing forward. There were a lot of moves where kind of everything was coming through him, kind of good forward passes, good over the head passes, and you've got to be happy with Harry Winks. But look, I'll let you take this one away.
Yeah, look, it wasn't perfect. People say, oh, he misplaced a pass here or he didn't get a challenge in there. But you got to say, whenever he got on the ball, he was confident. He was striding past players. His dribbling was really, really good. He was always looking forward, always looking for those crisp passes into the players' feet. And I thought it was a really, really good display from him. I thought he was really confident on the ball. He was pretty much one in the opening hour before we brought all the cavalry on. I thought he was the only midfielder, one of the only players on the pitch really getting those crisp passes into our attacking players and setting up attacking situations. And I thought it was well worth his goal at the end. That goal, curling it in with his left foot as well on the edge of the box, although the keeper's scrambling to get over. It's still not an easy finish with a load. He's got to get it for loads of players to get into the back of the net. And I thought that was a really confident finish from him. And I know it was only Wycombe, but I thought it was a really good display. And even like, I swear, like even yesterday where I thought he had a good game, like people still, like I go on like comments and he's still getting the brunt of a lot of criticism because we weren't winning at the time or something. And this is what I mean about Harry Winks. Like people don't see the good work he does. It just goes under the radar because it's not clear. He doesn't do obviously good things. That's the thing with Harry Winks.
Yesterday he did though.
I know, but a lot of the time he's like, because he's not making all the tackles or doing all the through balls and everything, people just think he's useless and he doesn't do anything. But people don't. I think a lot of his good work goes unnoticed a lot of the time. So whenever we're not winning or we're not playing well, he takes the brunt of the criticism.
I think in terms of Harry Winks, I think when you look at the beginning part of the season, I don't think he was good enough. But when you look at his performances the last 4 or 5 games, I think he's done really well. And
he's improved.
And that's the facts of the matter.
Yeah, he's got to do it against better opposition. I'm not getting away from that, but at least you can only play what's in front of you, and it was a good display from him.
All right, let's move on to Musa Sissoko. We gave him a 6. In the first half, I thought he was that destroyer role in the middle of the park. I thought he was all right. Did some nice work, but I thought his best work in the game was when he moved to right back and a lot more assured, like I mentioned before, for Jaffa Tanganga.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that great in the first half, to be honest, and I wasn't surprised.
That's why we improved so much when Højbjerg came on.
Yeah, I think we needed Højbjerg for that element of control for sure. He looked all right at right back. He had one moment where he was bursting into the box and he set up Heung-min Son for a really good chance who should have scored. He blazed over the bar. Other than that, he didn't have that much to do right back. Most of our attacks were concentrated through the centre. So I don't think he was that involved, but he was more accomplished in the second half than he was in the first.
Let's move on to Eric Lamela. We gave him a 5. In that first half, he was a busybody there in the number 10 role with little quality, to be honest. He had a number of shots, but the shots always seemed to just treacle into the keeper's arms. So I call on Lamela to kind of show a bit more quality because I know everyone knows that he's got it. But I thought in the first half, he was probably one of our better creative outlets alongside Gareth Bale. But I thought he petered out during the game. But like I said, even when he was one of our better creative outlets in the first half, he's just not showing enough quality.
Yeah, I wasn't that impressed with Lamela yesterday. I felt that he was a serious lack of quality on the ball. I thought a lot of the times he was very easily dispossessed. When he was in and around the box, when you need him to put a through ball in or get a shot off, the quality just wasn't there yesterday. And we know he could have that quality occasionally, but yesterday he was found wanting, unfortunately. And I thought he was rightly taken off in the second half because I don't think we needed some more quality in that central area, which was really crucial because he was getting a lot of ball possession. And it was all about what he could do with it, and he just couldn't do much with it.
Yeah. Let's move on to Lucas Mora. We gave him a 7. I thought it was a bit of a quiet first half for Lucas Mora, but second half he really came to life, and I thought he really was trying to grab that game by the scruff of the neck in the second half, trying to take the initiative in getting the ball down, beating a few players, trying to make stuff happen. And I was really, really happy with his second half performance, and he grabbed himself an assist as well. So yeah, I'm happy with Lucas for yesterday's performance.
Yeah, it was actually a really good cross for the goal for Gareth Bale to find him at the near post, right at the end of the first half that was. And I agree with you, second half he grew into it a lot more. I know he got taken off, I think on the hour, or no, about 65 minutes I think it was.
Yeah.
He got taken off. It was a bit harsh because I thought he was actually at that time getting really involved in the game on that left-hand side. Dribbling ability, it was always there to see, but he was always looking to do something at the end of it. He had a couple of shots we went just wide and some nice through balls and stuff. But again, look, it was good. I'm not going to criticise him. He played all right yesterday, so I'm not going to criticise him. It was just I thought he was outshone by the guy on the other wing.
All right, and let's get onto the guy on the other wing, and his name is Gareth Bale, and we gave him an 8. In my opinion, his best performance in a Spurs shirt since his return in the summer. You got to say that in the first half, to start off the first half, I thought he did look a bit rusty. The ball was bouncing off him, a few loose touches here and there, but I thought he grew into that game, got his goal at the end of the first half, probably could have got a few more goals during the game, but I thought not everything, but a lot of things that we were doing good in that second half, in that first half, was all coming through him. It was good to see him get the ball on the ground, take on a few men that we haven't seen in a while, get shots off. I mean, he got something like 8 shots off throughout the game, so you got to say it's exciting things to see from Gareth Bale. I just called on him to do it against better opposition, and I called on Jose to give him some more minutes in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, I think it's the first time, since he's come back that we've really seen confidence in him when he's on the ball, confidence to take on the fullback again and again and again. And actually, he showed pace yesterday. He showed speed. And I know he's only playing against a championship opposition, but he actually looked sharp. He actually looked a lot sharper than he has done. And this is the... Sorry. This is the first time we've seen him just continually take on his man and look confident in doing that, and that was really nice to see. I know he's going to have to do it against a lot better opposition, but it's a starting spot. He's got to build from somewhere, and even in he's played lesser opposition against Europa League games and stuff like that, and he hasn't been that confident. So against a championship level side, I thought all the creativity as well. He done some really good playmaking, some really good crossing, trying to start attacks. He got some decent shots off as well from outside the box, which went just wide and nearly scored. He had a header in the first half as well. He really should have scored that one. That went wide, and his goal was really well taken. You got to say that he's got his leg up really, really high. Difficult finish, got it over the keeper and got it into the back of the net. So there's definitely more to come, I'm hoping, from Gareth Bale. This is definitely, you've got to say, his season starts here, I'm hoping.
Step in the right direction.
Yeah, because I think Gareth Bale hasn't really we haven't really seen him yet. And, and I'm hoping this could be the start of something.
There are a few wasteful opportunities in there, like the header from the corner, completely free header, definitely should have scored that. And then when he cut in on the right-hand side, when he dubs Joe Jacobson,
that was good as well.
Hit the side netting. So you got to say, there were some
sharp, isn't he?
Yeah, he's looking sharp, but there were wasteful moments in there where you expect him to get goals.
That's the thing. His end product was a bit lacking, that's for sure. But the thing is, at least he's having how many saves did he make? The keeper make yesterday? He was cutting on that. He was on his right foot, and the keeper made 2-3 saves from him. And he's just at least having the confidence to get those shots, get them on target. And I just think this is the first time we've just seen confidence in him to use his body, to use his speed, because before he just seemed to be holding back a bit. He seemed a bit hesitant when he was on the ball. And at least he just seemed to release himself a bit yesterday. And I know it's only Wycombe, I keep saying that, but it's got to start somewhere, Yeah. And I have a feeling this could be the start of maybe his season starting.
Let's hope.
I'm hoping so. I might be jumping the gun, but I just felt like yesterday was definitely a big difference what we've seen.
I agree. Let's move on to the last of the starting 11, Carlos Vinicius. We gave him a 4. In my opinion, it was a very poor performance from him. In the first minute of the game, it looked like it was going to be a good performance as he held up the ball, showed a few nice touches to get other players into play. But I thought from then on in, he was literally, every time the ball came to him, it was a heavy touch away from him. Not much good I can talk about with Carlos's performance yesterday, and he got hauled off. What was it, after?
Not even an hour,
yeah, just before the hour mark.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed at all, and I can see why Jose would have been frustrated with him, because every touch, as you say, was heavy. How many times was he caught offside? Like 4 or 5 times he was caught offside, not holding his run.
Yeah.
And that was wasn't great either. His quality just didn't seem to be there yesterday, so it was a frustrating game from his point of view, and I can see definitely why Jose hauled him off, because when you see, I know obviously Kane's a world-class striker, but you just see the difference in when Kane comes on and how he interacts with the team, how he like lays things off for people and how he just keeps the ball in play. You feel like when the ball goes to Vinicius, a lot of the times the attack breaks down and we just lose the ball and just turn over a play, and we can't sustain attacks when he's on the pitch, and that's a big worry. And it's not the first time he's been hauled off, so he's got to, from Vinicius' point of view, he's got to start getting his act together if he wants to earn a permanent move here, because at the moment, despite the fact he's got a decent record in Europa League, is it enough to say that he's good enough to be with us? Well, I think the jury's still out on Vinicius, but he's got time to turn it. I'm not going to say turn it around. He's got time to prove himself. That's what I would say. But I think the jury's out on him at the moment because he has shown a bit of a lack of quality at times.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's always going to be hard for a player like that coming from abroad, coming to England in your first season on loan, just to make it work in the first year, because we know historically how it can take some players to settle in. Look at Heung-min Son, for example, how long it took him to settle in.
But especially for a converted centre-back. He was a centre-back for like 4 years ago. He was a centre-back, and now he's a striker in one of the top European leagues. It's always going to be a big adjustment, isn't it?
I always felt it was a bit of an uphill battle for Vinicius, just because that he's coming in, he's trying to fight Harry Kane. He's not even got a chance to fight Harry Kane at the end of the day because he's not getting enough minutes. So it was always going to be hard for him to kind of settle in, knuckle down and like kick on, basically, because he just doesn't get enough minutes, does he?
As a poacher, he seems to be doing a good job. That's where most of his goals have come from, isn't it? Poaching. Yeah. Like a lot of them have been tap-ins and whatnot, which isn't a bad thing. You need to be there to score the goals, but it's not going to sustain a performance or attacks when you're always in that position. You need to be, with how Mourinho likes his strikers to play, back to goal, bringing people into play.
His control isn't good enough for him.
And yeah, I mean, his first touch was woeful, really woeful yesterday. He couldn't trap anything. And that's got to be a bit of a worry for Jose. So he's definitely got to work on that. And also, you got to say, like, Lucas was doing everything he could yesterday to try and help him. Every time he got the ball, he was like looking for him and looking for a through ball. But I thought he just wasn't up to it a bit yesterday.
Let's move on to the substitutes. Let's start off with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. We gave him a 7. I thought when he came on, it changed the game. It really did, because Musa Sissoko wasn't really doing it in that role in the first half. He came in. You can see the stats on screen, how second to none Højbjerg was in the middle of that park, winning the ball back. And he just let Harry Winks do his job. He let the rest of the team do their job. And this is why he's just so important to the team.
Yeah, he gave us a lot more control in that centre, 100%, that's for sure, because he was winning the ball a lot. We weren't overpowered in the centre in the first half, but we weren't controlling it as much as we should be, and I thought he definitely helped with that. Obviously, got an assist as well for Tongi's second goal right at the end. Really nice through ball for Tongi, and I thought it was a really nice really nice half of play from Højbjerg. Came on and helped, that made sure we went through.
Let's move on to Harry Kane. We gave him a 6. He came on for Carlos Vinicius just before the hour mark. In terms of Harry Kane, I thought he definitely provided a good presence up there. Potentially should have scored.
Should have scored a couple, I reckon.
Yeah, probably should have scored a couple, to be fair. Good saves from the keeper. But in terms of his whole game, I thought it was good, but not great. You know what I mean? 6 out of 10, probably just about right for him.
Oh yeah, he sets very high standards, doesn't he, Harry Kane? But I thought there was a lot of moments when he came on, he's on the right-hand side, he's putting crosses in the box, he's just getting a lot more involved. And, you know when Harry Kane's up there, he's going to make it stick when you play it to him, and we're going to be able to sustain attacks a lot better. Whereas Vinicius, it was
just night and day, isn't it?
Completely night and day for, you saw the difference in quality when Kane came on, and despite him not scoring a couple of goals, he was definitely involved in Winks' winner, which he scored, and he'll probably be disappointed he didn't get a goal, but decent cameo and definitely helped us with the win.
Yeah, which moves us on to Heung-min Son. We gave him a 7. I thought as soon as he came on, you could see the quality Heung-min Son have. I thought you could see the Wycombe defenders frightened, actually, when Heung-min Son came on, because the way he just terrorizes defenses, the way he runs at defenses, his sheer presence, in my opinion, gives defenders worries. He grabbed an assist, and I thought he was a menace, really, since coming on.
Yeah, they couldn't deal with him. He got a really good assist for Tongi's first, or good on the breakaway. Could have got a goal when he did a step over and he smashed it across the face of goal with his left foot just wide. And he was a complete menace when he came on, and yeah, it was a bigger threat than Lucas for sure. And it was always going to be difficult for Wycombe once the big guns came on.
Yeah, which moves us on to Tanguy Ndombele, the last of the player ratings. We gave him a 9. And what can we say about this guy? He is getting better and better game by game by game. His fitness is getting better. His confidence is getting better. The things that he does with the football are just absolutely magic. I mean, he come on that game. He come on with 20 minutes to go? Got 2 goals. Could have got more goals. There was one he fired completely wide. He had a say in which goal did he have a say in? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Second goal, which great. What a ball that is to Kane. Lobbed over the top. Absolutely.
I mean, the guy is a complete magician with the ball at his feet. I just can't get over how much of a joy he is to watch. I mean, this guy, I just, whenever I mention Tanguy Ndombele, I just sit here and just go, oh, what a player, man. What a player.
I mean, this guy he's marrying his on the ball dribbling with now he's really getting an output out of his skills. We always knew he had a good pass on him, but he's showing a different element to his game now. That if you see the run he does for that second goal, he really is getting in behind, actually getting in those offensive areas. He's not asking for the ball. He's making runs in behind now off the ball. He's making it difficult. He's making defenders think
clever
about different things.
So clever, man.
And you know Ndombele, when he gets the ball, if you're one-on-one with him, you're done. You can't have one player on him. You need at least 2 because he can go past 2 like they're not there. So imagine what you can do for 1 player. There are 2 finishes yesterday.
3 he can do.
Yeah, exactly. He can even do 3 players. The 2 finishes yesterday, the keeper didn't even move because they were just so nonchalantly put in the back of the net with power, like it wasn't anything. He just put it in the back of the
training
net.
Match,
like he barely even celebrated. He was like, "Yeah, it's a goal. Well, obviously it's a goal. What do you expect?" Like that's it. And then that second goal as well. He took it so confidently, trick inside, bam, smashed it. Imagine Dembele doing that. He can never do that. He can never do that. He did it once every 20 games or something. I remember
he did it
once every 30 games.
He did it once when Mike Dean celebrated that goal. Who was that against?
Against Villa, I think.
Villa at the Lane,
at the Lane. Yeah, that was a few years ago. But Ndombele seems to be getting that attacking output after that performance in Sheffield United. Obviously, and then now did it against Wycombe. I know the opposition level is not that great, but he's shown his ability on the ball against better opposition for sure. Now he's looking like he's starting to get more of an attacking output as well, and he's turning into one of the perfect midfield players in the Premier League at the moment. And I just love watching him play. He's the one player in this squad who really you don't know what he's going to do when he gets on the ball. It's absolute magic. And then he could dribble, he could pass, he could shoot, he can do whatever he wants, and he's unplayable at the moment.
He really is
unplayable.
He really is unplayable. And the big thing for me is because I don't know if you remember when we spoke to the Leon fan channel, they were like, yes, absolutely unbelievable player, but when it gets to the smaller games, he doesn't really produce. He can't really get himself up for these smaller games. But now he is.
Yeah,
he is.
He's getting consistency in his game.
He's playing well against the small teams, playing well against the big teams.
And he's really developing himself in that number 10 role as well, because obviously we bought him as a number 6 kind of, or number 8, 6 or 8 in that position, the double pivot, which I'm pretty sure he could still play. But now he's in that double number 10, having real contributions in the final third, and he's really starting to add those goal contributions to his game, which he needs to if he's going to be a success in that role. And he looks like he can definitely do that. His passing, like he can spot a pass anywhere. His shooting, his finishing needs some work, but he's starting to do some really nice finishes of late. So I'm so impressed with him. I'm so happy we kept him, and bring it. I want to see more and more of him.
Since he's come to Spurs, he's scored, I think, 3 more goals than Paul Pogba and the same amount of assists. Is he better? Has
he scored more goals than Dembele ever did?
Probably, to be honest.
Well, probably. He's probably already scored more goals than Dembele.
Yeah. Well, he is playing further up the pitch than Dembele.
That is also true, but still.
Anyway, that is the end of our player ratings. We're not going to give Joe Rodon a rating just because he wasn't on for enough time. 30 seconds. Jose Mourinho, you got to say he handled the game completely perfectly, I felt. You know, the setup was well. I thought he did well to give those players time, brought on the cavalry when they were needed to seal off the game. And you got to say Jose Mourinho handled that game perfectly, in my opinion.
I think the most important thing is we made sure the game didn't go to extra time, killed it off before. And even though we only scored with 5 minutes to go, you always felt like it was a matter of time before we scored the chances we created.
That second half, there was only one team that were going to win that. And that's credit to Jose Mourinho, how he got into them at half time. And I felt we were just missing chance after chance chance after chance in that second half. And that's not down to Jose, that's down to the players. And if the players do put away the chances in that second half early on, then maybe Kane and Son probably don't even need to come on.
Yeah, it's a shame they were required, and they definitely were required because we kept missing those chances. But yeah, I think Jose played his hand pretty well. And I think as well, we've had how long a break since the last game? It was like a 10-day break.
Something like that.
And so I think sometimes it's good for players to get some minutes, but like in between that, you don't want to have a complete rest for 10 days. I think keep your batteries running, you know, have a bit of a run out is a good thing for those players. So I think they're going to be fully fit for that game on Thursday, and it's a massive game. And I think he did well to rest them, did well to bring them on when we needed them. And yeah, I got no complaints about Jose yesterday.
All right, so there you have it. That is our player ratings. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with our player ratings. If you disagree with our player ratings, put yours in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.